All right. Cool, guys. So lesson number 2, macros, aka flexible dieting. Okay, this is all those people that you see are in always good shape year round. This is what they do, guys. Either that or they have really good genetics. So if they have really good genetics, like that sucks for us that don't. But most people are doing this. Okay, macros, aka flexible dieting, and this is what we're teaching you guys in this course. Okay, so let's see if I can over here. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna mute everybody. If you hold on a second. Sorry. I just want to make sure when I'm recording that you guys can all actually hear me. So mute yourselves if you can. It sounds all right. You guys can also hear me, right? Okay, perfect. So this is what are macronutrients, first of all. Okay, so macronutrients are carbs, fats, and proteins. You guys all probably already understand this. We all obviously know what carbs are. Okay, fruit, bread, rice, crackers, those are your carbohydrates. We have our fats, okay, oils, nuts, dairies, peanut butter, those are your fats. And then we have our protein, okay, so any kind of meat, nuts, some vegetables, some fruits. Here is kind of overarching layout of what this looks like. So there are macronutrients that have a little bit of both, obviously, and this is where you're getting, some of those same food groups in the same macronutrient group, okay? So why are macros important, guys? So each macro has a role to play in the health of your body, okay? So this is why, specific diets that are cutting out certain macros all the time are not the way to go, aka keto, okay? Because your body needs carbs for energy. Can you lose some weight doing that? Yes, but again, at the end of the day, all you were doing was really having a calorie deficit, guys. So like, it doesn't make sense to just cut out food group because it's the easy way to go. It actually makes more sense to have a balanced diet and be able to eat the foods that you actually enjoy. I actually was just talking to Angelo, and he's like, yeah, somebody just sprung up and was like, let's go to Dairy Queen. He switched some things around. He got his Dairy Queen, so he's happy now. He's not going to go binge over the weekend on some crap that he's been depriving himself of. Okay, he made it fit in his plan, and that's basically what macro counting is all about. Okay, if it fits in your macros, that's kind of the base of it. Okay, so you always try to make everything fit. So again, each macro has their own specific role in your body. So your carbs are for your energy, your fats are for hormones, okay? Hormone regulation, brain function, absorption of nutrients, and proteins are obviously to build muscle and repair muscle tissue, okay? Anybody been like this before where they cut all their carbs? I don't wish that on anybody. All right. So calories and macros. So here's the thing that I really want you to take out of this training, guys, is your calories and your macros. Okay. It's very important that you understand in each macronutrient, there's a certain amount of calories per gram. Okay. So carbohydrates and proteins are actually the same. They're 4 grams of calories. They're 4 calories per gram. Okay. Now fat contains 9 calories per gram. Okay, which is roughly double what a protein and a carbohydrate would be, okay? And this is why we do like more of a low-fat diet, okay? Healthier people do more of a low-fat diet, and I know that might be contrary to what you guys heard. Like, we had the big, fat scare back in the, I don't know, that was probably, the 80s or something, and everybody just cut out all the fat, and then they're like, oh, no, fats are good. Now we're going to cut out all the carbohydrates. So, again, you need all of them. But fat obviously contains more calories. So if you have a higher fat diet, what do you think happens? It means you spill over on your calories a lot easier than you would if you're just eating carbohydrates and proteins, okay? So I'm never big on eliminating anything, especially fats. You need fats, but again, having a lower fat diet is the way to go, just because you're going to be able to consume more calories, you're going to be able to eat more, and be more satisfied. Okay, so this is, this is why you don't, again, want to just eliminate fat. So you want to lower your fat content as much as possible. And this is why I'm always trying to find substitutes like the fat-free cheese, guys. Like, you take the fat out of cheese and it's just protein, okay? And that can really add up on your protein goal. So any kind of substitutes like that where you can lower the fat content and have a little bit more protein is obviously the way to go. Any questions on that so far, guys? We good? I can't see anybody anymore because I had to lower the screen. Cool. All right. So meal structure. We kind of went over this last class as well too. So with meal structure, again, everybody's like, how do I set up my meals? So 20 grams of protein at every meal, roughly, if you can do that, 15 to 20 grams, depending on, your size, your age, weight, height, all of that good stuff. A moderate amount of carbs. So here you got your samples, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, a moderate amount of carbs at each meal. And then a small amount of fats. Okay, on this meal plan is just one time of fats. You could add more fats into these other ones depending on what your goals are. Okay, so obviously this is very rough and everything needs to be tracked. So at the end of the day, I always say that, like, no matter what meal plan we give you, no matter what you're doing, you got to track it, because it's always going to end up a little bit different depending on what foods you intake. Okay. So what about micronutrients? Who knows about micronutrients? So micronutrients are basically what is found in your vegetables and your fruits, okay? And those are important as well. But here's the thing is, when you track your macronutrients, typically there's enough micronutrients in those foods to cover you for what you need on your micronutrient level, okay? This is why we really don't pay attention to it. Now, is it good to pay attention to it? Yes, but how much of a difference is it going to make? Not a lot, unless you're a nutrient deficient in something. Let's say you're, vitamin D deficient, then you should probably be supplementing vitamin D and trying to eat more foods with vitamin D. Okay, but you need to know that about yourself. That's why you go to the doctor. You make sure you're efficient in all of your nutrients. Okay. So that eliminates the work for us if we can just pay attention to the 3 macronutrients, especially here in the States, guys. The FDA approves a lot of these micronutrients to go ahead and get put in your food already. So it's why you don't need to have like an excess amount of vegetables and fruits. Is it good to have a lot of vegetables and fruits? Sure, like, it's not going to hurt you. But at the end of the day, you really just need to focus on those 3 macronutrient groups. Okay. So I hope all that makes sense. If you guys have questions, let me know on the micronutrients. Any questions on the micronutrients? Yeah. So what foods to choose? Okay. So we want to go by the 80-20 principle here, guys. And this fits perfectly with a macronutrient diet or a macronutrient plan. Okay. Because basically, to hit your macronutrients in the right way, guys, I'm sure you've tried it before. If you just try to eat like a lot of junk food in one day, it's really hard to get that carbs, fats, and protein goal right where they need it, especially the protein. That's the hardest of all. So to be able to accomplish that, you need that 80-20 principle, where 80% of those foods are coming from that whole foods, the fruits, the vegetables, the lean meats, that type of thing. The good starches, so potatoes, rices, and then the other 20% can come from this area here, where it's your sweets and your things that maybe aren't as good for you. Okay, so if you live by that, like, you can literally live by that every single day and still hit your macros and still be enjoying this process. Because at the end of the day, guys, like, you got to enjoy the process. Otherwise, you're going to hate it, and you're either going to hit your goal and go backwards, or you're just not going to be able to get anywhere because you're just worried about, like, what foods you can have later, because you're just depriving yourself. So the 80-20 principle is a very good principle for macronutrients. Cool. So if you're not getting enough calories or proteins, here's some things, some suggestions for you. So non-fat Greek yogurt plus whey, that'll get you a ton of protein in one shot. You need to prepare more high calorie snacks, so nuts, cheese sticks, proteins. Um, Drink more calories if you're not getting your calories in enough. I know a lot of ladies especially are like, this just seems like a lot of food. You got to drink your calories, guys, because here's the thing is like at the end of the day, we got to get you up to a certain level. And without you being to that level, we can't drop your calories enough to make the fat loss stage work. Okay. Because some of you guys just weren't eating enough in the first place. So you're in this fat loss stage for like a long freaking time and your body doesn't respond to that well. It's the same thing like being in a calorie deficit for a long time is like going to the gym for 30 days in a row without a rest break. Like you need those breaks. And that's why we push you guys back up to maintenance calories. That's why we play around with the numbers, with the carbs, because if you're just in a deficit all the time, like people think they're just going to be able to like not eat and lose the weight. That's going to work for a little bit. But at the end of the day, to get the results that you want to see in the mirror, like you got to follow this macronutrient plan, and it's got to be a systematic thing. It can't just be like, I'm just not going to eat. Like it doesn't make sense. So drink more calories if you're not getting your protein in. You can do that through like fruit smoothies, veggie smoothies, protein shakes. You can buy any of this at the grocery store, guys. So if you don't want to make it, like it's right there. Like even a gas station, you can go buy a veggie smoothie. You can go buy a fruit smoothie. You could go buy a protein shake at a gas station. So like there's really no excuse to not be getting these things in, especially when we have that much access to food. Okay. So eating higher calorie foods that are going to go a lot further for you if you're struggling to get those calories in. Cool. So nutrient timing, what is this? You know, maybe you guys have heard of nutrient timing. I promise you it's not all it's made out to be. It's actually plays very little part in your results. So nutrient timing just basically means getting specific nutrients in at a specific time. So typically this looks like, okay, I'm going to eat some carbs before my workout for energy, and I'm going to eat some carbs after my workout to allow, better protein absorption. Okay. This stuff can work, but it's just such little importance, guys, that we don't stress about it. Okay. And a lot of people will, like, especially if you go to like a supplement shop. I'm not trying to bash on supplement shops or anything like that, but they'll be like, hey, you need this type of protein before your workout and you need this type of protein after your workout. Like, and it's really just to sell more product. Because at the end of the day, this bottom thing here, guys, overall consumption is king. Okay. So like you could literally eat all your calories in one sitting and still be under your calories and still be within your ranges and you'd be fine. Okay. It's obviously not the ideal way to go, but that just shows you that the overall consumption is what is king. It's not about when you're eating your nutrients and things like this. Now you want to have a good setup for your day and be eating throughout the day so you feel good, so you have energy, and you want to plan accordingly. Like I was talking to Lucas tonight and he's like, I like having a big dinner. I'm the same way. Guys especially are like that. We like to have big dinners. We like to feel full at the end of the night. So we might backload our calories to the end of the night and just kind of graze throughout the day and not eat as much, right? So that's one way of going it. A lot of people like eating big lunches. Maybe you like eating big lunches and small dinners. You could pack your calories in at lunch instead. Okay. It's just about, overall consumption and thinking about your plan ahead of time. Okay. Cool. And then order of importance. Okay. So this is kind of the hierarchy of the way you should be thinking about this, because I get this a lot, like what's more important, the carbs, the fats, or the proteins. This will tell you exactly where you need to go. Okay. So obviously the king is total calories. It's calories in versus calories out, making sure you're hitting your numbers, making sure you're not going over, and making sure you're not too far under. Okay. After that is when you start looking at your macronutrients. So if someone can't even like get their calorie goal right, like I'm not even looking at their macros. I'm like, get your calories first, and then we'll see where you're at for macros. Okay. And as far as the order of macros, protein is always first. Okay. So it's calories and then protein. Okay. And then fats and carbs. Now, fats and carbs, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, guys. it just kind of depends on how you like to eat. So I like a more higher fat type diet. But literally, if you just track calories and protein, like, you're going to be just fine. Is it better to have the balance of the carbs and fats? Yeah. And I was on top of it for like the first year doing this. I was hitting fats, proteins, carbs, all within 5, guys. Like, I never messed that up. But now I'm kind of more of a relaxed stage. I've hit some initial goals. I still got goals, but I don't stress about the numbers like I used to. So I really just focus on my overall calorie intake and my protein first. Okay. And I always put my stuff in ahead of time just to make sure it's going to match up, because a lot of times if you do have a higher fat diet or a higher fat day, you're going to go on a calorie spillover and you don't even realize it until you've already eaten it, or you put it in and it might be too late. Okay. So just make sure everything's going in ahead of time and you're planning for it. Okay. Because you don't want to have to backtrack, like, and not be able to eat the food you want to eat. So after the macronutrients is the micronutrients. Okay, again, typically when you hit your macronutrients, you're hitting all those micros as well too, but it's definitely something worth looking at. Nutrient timing, I would actually debate this here where they have supplements at the top of the list, because I don't think nutrient timing is that important. I think supplements are actually more important, and I'll do a whole live training on supplements here soon. But like, if you have all of these things in place, your micronutrients, your macronutrients, and your total calorie intake, guys, then the supplements can really help you out. If all of this is messed up, it doesn't matter what supplements you take or what somebody tells you, like, this isn't going to help. Supplements are literally, like, think about the word supplement. Supplemental. It's basically adding on to the good things that you're already doing. If you're not doing these good things, and this is not going to help you no matter what. I don't care what anybody tells you, okay? So I would switch this out. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even have nutrient timing on here unless you're like a high-level athlete. And that's just like a whole different level that we don't even have to go into. But that's the only time I've really seen a big difference in nutrient timing is for like high-level athletes, Olympic athletes. That makes sense, guys? We liking this? We good?
Yeah.
Y'all still with me? All right, cool. All right. So, next slide here. So what's the 4th macronutrient, guys? Who knew there was a 4th macronutrient, first of all? And if you know what it is, who knows what it is? Go ahead and tell me. Coach Taylor doesn't even know what that is. Do you? 4th macronutrient. Come on, nobody knows this answer?
Fiber.
Fiber.
Not fiber. Fiber is not a macronutrient. I think that's a micronutrient. You guys
Calcium?
Huh?
Calcium?
Calcium? No, that's a micronutrient. You guys are gonna like this. Watch.
Sugar.
Close. Close. That is close, actually.
Fructose.
Watch this. Boom.
Ah,
Alcohol is its own macronutrient. Okay, that's crazy, right? Alcohol has 7 calories per gram. So remember, protein, fats, 4 calories per gram, fat 9 calories, and then this falls in the middle of 7 calories per gram. Okay, so what's cool about alcohol? It's actually like a carb and a fat. It's really weird, and it can be measured as both. Okay, so if you had the choice to measure alcohol as a carb or a fat, what would you pick?
carb.
That's right, carb. Why?
Don't know.
Don't know. Hey,
Well, there's no meat in it. I don't know.
carb's the right answer, but why? What did I just get done teaching you guys? Please,
Doesn't
somebody
it break down to sugar?
It gives you energy. It
Don't tell me
stimulates
I
your
wasted
brain
my
to give you
whole
energy.
night teaching you guys this.
Courage.
Huh?
Courage.
It's a grain.
Why? Why?
The sugar, isn't it?
But why?
Because it's a grain.
Think about it. What did I just tell you about carbs, fats, and proteins as far as calorie intake?
Energy source.
No.
No.
7 calories per.
7 calories, right? So if I measure it as a carb, then I get more of it, right? because this
Yeah.
is before calories, okay? Does that make sense? So you can have more of it if you measure it that way, as opposed to if I measure it as a fat, I get like half. Unless you guys just don't want more alcohol. I mean, I would think more alcohol is a good thing, right? All right. So with that being said, how do we put in alcohol into my fitness plan? It's not like what you guys think that you just put in, oh, Jack Daniel. You just type in Jack Daniel. Like that doesn't work for this specific macronutrient. Oop, I went back. So this is how you guys put it in. Okay, Trevor Cash created his own in MyFitnessPal. Somebody got the TV on, or what's going on there? You guys can mute yourselves. That'd be great. I don't know who it is. Just for a second. There we go. Cool. It's gone. Awesome. So the way this works is you are going to type in. So let's say I'm going to have 2 Coronas, right? Corona Light is what I drink. I type in Cashy because that's the name of my coach's program. And he's already got this converted over for us. So basically he's got it as 1 calorie. And all you have to do is put in the number of calories you had in that drink. Okay. So if this looks like I had three Corona Lights. Okay. They're 99 calories a piece. For 3 of them, it's 297 calories. So it converted it for me. Now, let's say you want to do some vodka or something like that. You need to actually look up, calories in vodka, like a shot of vodka, on the internet, and then you can take those calories, you can put them in here, and it'll convert it into the right macronutrient for you. Basically, you see, it's all carbs right here. So I got to convert all my alcohol into carbs. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
So we just open up our MyFitnessPal and put Cashy,
Yep.
and then take it from there. Okay.
Exactly. Just type it in like that. That'll come up, and then you just fix the calorie intake that you're gonna do.
Not that I'm going to be drinking. I'm asking for a friend. I'm just kidding.
I got no problem with drinking. Go crazy. You have a couple and it's out. All right. So I want to do a book of the month every time we do this, guys, because I'm big on reading books and filling your mind with this type of stuff, because this isn't just about nutrition. It isn't just about fitness. It's about personal development, okay? Because without the personal development side of this, guys, you're just going to go backwards, okay? So you really have to focus on becoming a better person and becoming a high level, high performer is what I call it. So like if you can do everything we ask you to do in this program, we consider you a high performer, okay? Because most people don't do this. It looks really weird, like it's socially probably not really even acceptable. But like, just know that like if you're doing this, you're working out, 3 to 5 times a week, you're tracking all your stuff, guys. Like that's what it takes, and that's what most people can't do. So if you're doing that, like you're a high performer, okay? And you might not feel like a high performer right now, but like when you do this for 6 months to 9 months, like you're gonna feel the difference between what you used to be and what you are now, and it trickles into every part of your life, guys. So the book of the month is the compound effect. Okay, it's super good. It's kind of touches base on the presentation I did last month, where it's just stacking those wins on top of each other. Every little thing that you do today is going to go into your next day, that goes into your next week, that goes into your next month, and over a year, 2 years, 3 years, like you just become that person that you've always wanted to be. Okay? And that's what the compound effect is. It's like compounding interest in your bank account, right? They even talk about in this book, they said, if you can double your money I think it's every 2 days or every week or something like that, like you'd have $1 million in like just a few months or something, because it just, when everything doubles like that, it just adds so freaking quick. And that's what the compound effect is all about. So this is kind of talks about a little bit more. So number one strategy to achieve your goals, getting rid of bad habits, installing these key disciplines, And then real lasting change, guys, because that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for a quick fix. We're looking for real lasting change. And this is how you do it. Cool. That's it, guys. Nice and short and sweet. I hope it was valuable to you. What questions do we have regarding this, regarding anything in the program, any hurdles that we need to overcome? What do we got?
Can you hear me, Matt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I went to my Fitness Pal and tried to type in that Kashey. It's Kashey.
Yep.
And nothing comes up. Do I have to like program it in there first?
It should be in there, honestly. I can share it. I think I might be able to share it with you. That way you can have it. But yeah, I never had any problems getting that to come up.
Is it under just food?
Yeah, it would just be under like an add a food and then just type in Kashey.
Yeah, I typed in Kashey alcohol and it popped right up.
Did it? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe try the alcohol. Kashey alcohol.
When I typed in Kashey at first, they had quite a list of stuff.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of other foods in there and stuff too. I don't use that because again, use your scanner bar, weigh your food, do all that good stuff.
is it Trevor Kashey Nutrition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it has 1 calorie.
It has 1 calorie, and then you need to put in what the calorie intake would be. Like, remember that example I said about the beer? So the beer is, Corona Light is 99 calories, so I would put 99 instead of 1. I just need to change that.
Oh, okay. So you just change the calorie amount.
Right. Yep.
Serving size 1 calorie, so servings would be 99, and then it converts it to the right carbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How much omega-3s should you be getting in on average, like a day or a week or whatever? Because that's going to be my issue that I run into, I think.
Yeah, do you have like a deficiency in anything?
Huh?
Do you have a deficiency in that? Or
Well, with the vegan stuff, it's going to be harder to get that.
yeah, vegan, if anything, you're going to have, I think it's a vitamin B deficiency because you're not getting any meat. I think that's one thing that.
Well, I've got some vitamins.
So omega-3s are going to come in like more of your fat content. So like eggs and fish and
Okay.
type of thing. Yeah. So you can monitor it, but like if you hit your fat goal, Jen, I think you'd be fine. Unless you
Okay.
had an issue with that before, like I wouldn't be worried about it. But definitely check on that vitamin B because I know without meat, like you almost have to supplement with a vitamin B pill to be.
Okay.
Good question though. Who else got questions? Who's having a great week? Erica's always on. Erica's freaking dialed in, guys. This girl.
I like to try to add nuts in, like pecans or. Oh, where's Erica? I have a question.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So I like to try to add pecans or like pistachios in, like nuts, but they're so high in fat.
They're high.
So I feel like that always takes me over my fat grams.
Those are hard. And
okay, so
as long as
just
like we've had problems with you getting to your calorie goal, Kathy. So like a little bit of extra fat equaling more calories for you is not going to be a bad thing as long as you don't spill over, right? That makes sense?
okay. So calories would be more important than even, like, try to keep my fats lower, but more important hit that calorie goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, calories and then protein. Like,
Do you read comments on the side?
What's that?
Okay, calories and protein. Do you read the comments on the side, the chat box
Oh yeah, I can see.
of your Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay, because my audio is not very. Okay, my audio is not very good.
Yeah, calories and
I said hi, Taylor.
calories and protein first and foremost. Like, I don't even care about your other macros.
I sent her a message.
Those consistently. Okay.
I finally got smart about
Okay.
eggs.
You got smart about
Switched
what?
to egg whites. Major difference.
Right, major
Yeah.
difference. Like eggs are just so high in fat. Like I love eggs. Like my
Yeah.
breakfast used to be like 2 eggs, a piece of toast with some butter. That was so high in fat that, and my calories are so low now because I'm getting so lean that I can't have that anymore. It literally has to be just like almost pure protein in the morning. My fat content just has to be like, I like fatty foods, guys. Like that's my thing. Like, if you throw me a cookie or like a piece of fried chicken, like I'm going for the fried chicken, right? So like it's hard for me to like I have to get rid of some fat in my diet, but like I'm willing to sacrifice, right?
And I am really low on fat, but I like the carbs.
Yeah, the carbs, yeah. You're
Potatoes.
better off.
Fuel is like usually 30.
Yeah, I wish I wish I had that problem with carbs because I eat a lot more food. All right. So what else, guys? Shout out Luke Schroeder, 21 pounds down, 8 weeks. That dude's
Wow.
freaking beast.
Damn.
This guy just puts in the work. Who else?
Is
Shout
he
out.
working out every day?
What's that?
Is he working out every day?
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah.
I have I work construction, so I'm pretty
Oh.
active anyways. But yeah, I mean, I work out probably 5 times a week for sure.
It wasn't by mistake because he wasn't doing that before. So he's active, but you know, you got to be. It doesn't really matter. Like it matters how active you are, Kathy, but it also is like it's based off of him. Like he's a construction guy, so he's already active, so he has to have more calories than a regular person would because you know someone like me or you, we're sitting behind a desk all day.
Yeah.
So and that's why the customization is so important.
Right.
If you give him your plan.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get anywhere because he'd be like starving, right? But if I gave you his plan, you'd be like, dude, I can't eat all this food and I'm gonna get fat.
I don't know, he's pretty low right now.
I was just gonna say, come on, coach, like help me out.
What's your calorie intake?
1650 right now. I just got sorted today.
That isn't really high. I thought yours would be a lot higher than that. But
Well, you started out really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did start out really high.
And that's why it's so important, guys, that you hit your initial calorie goal. Because if we can't get you up to that point, then we don't get to bring you back down and see what works. So that's the problem we have with a lot of people that begin. They're not used to eating that much. And then, like, no matter how much we tell them, they won't bring it up. And then we can't go anywhere because it's just like you're doing the same exact thing that you were doing before. But if we can get a good week out of you of just eating and getting those calories in there, then guess what we can do? We can start playing with your numbers and bringing you down systematically, okay? Because everything you tried up to this point has never been systematic. It's been, let me throw some spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks, right? And that shit don't work. Like, goals have to be measurable. And that's why it's so important. Like, I don't know, it really drives me nuts, guys, and I love all of you. But when you tell me you can't hit your calorie goal, like, go eat some fucking food. Like, seriously, it's not that difficult. Like, drink some calories. Go drink a protein shake. Go fucking drink a pop. Like, I don't care. Get your calories up. And then we can do everything we want to do with you.
I know.
You got to be coachable, and you got to be willing to be uncomfortable a little bit. Like, I don't want to eat, carbs are going to make me fat. No, they're not. Listen and do what we tell you, because so many people in this group have gotten great results that weren't like that before. okay? But like if you don't follow the coaching, Lucas is one. Erica is one. Erica came to my gym, guys, and this is my rant the other night on Facebook about the gym doesn't solve the problem. I came here to solve problems. Erica came to the gym for 6 weeks, didn't drop a pound. She gained strength. She felt better. Of course, all these things that come with working out. But it wasn't until she stepped into the one-on-one coaching with me that now she's like the weight's coming off and she feels fucking great and she's still working out. But like she has a motivation behind it because she's losing the weight. She's getting that outcome that she wanted or she thought she would get from just working out, right? This is why I'm so passionate about this, guys, because this is the game changer. This is what everybody thinks a workout's going to do for them. It's managing yourself. It's self-mastery. Without self-mastery, you don't make a change. Anybody can do hard shit for 6 weeks. I was in Marine boot camp for 3 months. Like I did hard shit every single day.
Is it too late?
What? Too late to go to boot camp? No, you can go to boot camp if you want.
Can't hear ya.
Is it too late to bring calories up now?
It's never too late.
I would
never
die.
Too late to do anything. You just have to be consistent.
Right. I worked out this morning and I felt like shit all day.
Why?
So bring my calories up
Oh,
because I am low on my calories. I'm so afraid to eat that much.
you gotta just trust it, Kathy.
Gotta eat
But
it.
I would love to.
You gotta just trust us.
Taylor was on me to bring my calories up, and I'm so afraid.
You gotta just trust us. Because what's the worst gonna happen?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Is it too late?
Your calories go up and your weight goes up a little bit.
All right.
And they will happen. I'm not gonna tell you it's not gonna
I
happen.
know. Should I be at 15 or 18?
Let's talk about that on Voxer, okay? But this is the thing. Your weight will go up when your calories go up simply because of your body's going to hold on to more water weight.
Yes.
But when we can level you out and get you
Listen.
where you're supposed to be and reset your metabolism, then we can bring you back down systematically, okay? But like you got to get to that point where we need you first, okay? You're getting there. You're good.
I mean, when I first came to you, Matt, you told me to eat 2,000 calories, and I
Okay.
thought you were insane. But then I got off my plateau. And maybe 2,000 calories.
Yeah. She was the same way. I mean, and from what I hear, like apparently for women especially, it's put into your head that you guys are supposed to eat like 1,200 calories since high school. Like every freaking woman, my manager told me this like maybe 6 months ago. I'm like, what? 1,200 calories? They're like, yeah, that's just like what we were told in high school or middle school or something. Like since middle school, I'm like, what? Who told you this?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna tell this woman who's 300 pounds and this woman who's 120 they eat the same shit? Like it doesn't make sense. And that's a problem that people have is they think they're gonna go do what their friend did, but they're nothing like their friend. They think, oh, this person did keto and they lost some weight, but like they're just different from their friend. Like
That's what Dr. B.
don't get me started on doctors that do that shit, man. Doctors do that shit because they don't want to solve the problem. They want to go.
That's what Dr. B says
What's the quickest?
on my 600-pound life.
I don't know. You remember Jamie Borg, Lucas?
Oh.
She's a doctor now, and she
What?
eats the shit out of keto, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's only because they want to give you what they think is the easy route, but it's not easy. It's not managing yourself. It's going cut a macronutrient group out of your thing. Of course you could do that. Like people go on carnivore diets and don't eat anything but meat and they lose weight. Why? Because they drop their calories. People could eat Snickers bars every freaking day and it'd work to lose weight. Would they feel good? No. But like that's why we teach you guys to do the 80-20 principle. You're getting both in. You guys can do that. That makes sense, guys? So I'm super passionate about this. If I'm cussing and you think I'm being an asshole, like I'm really not trying to be. It's just like that's the we call that well, I was talking to Taylor about this other day. What do I call that? A pattern interruption. Okay, if I cuss, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh shit!" It's gonna wake you up a little bit, right? So like that's what you need because we're just so like in our own head about everything. You need that pattern interruption, and it makes it stick.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I use the cuss word, they'd probably paint on the floor. I mean,
not everybody should cuss. Some people just don't sound cool cussing. Who's gonna go read that book?
I am.
Yes, Lucas.
Yeah.
Who's that? Kathy? Erica?
Blanca.
Great book. You don't even have to read it, guys. Guess what? We got audio books nowadays. I knock out an audio book in like a week.
I went to school with you, so you know I can't read anyways.
Yeah, for real. I'm the same way. I don't have time to read anymore, but I'm ahead of that stuff. But cool. Any struggles we need to talk about, guys? Anything that's been on your mind? Everybody that I'm looking at right now, I feel like you guys are all dialed in. You've been doing it for a while. You know, but you guys need to pump up the new people coming in that it's like foreign to them. They don't understand it. Because it's one thing for me to sit here and preach at them or their coach and tell them what to do. But it's another thing to be like, yeah, I've been in your shoes, dude. Like, this is what you need to do. Like, you guys should be supporting each other all the way through.
I think the hardest thing for me is weighing every day. Like the scale is just, I don't know, but I have to tell myself to be consistent. And I've gone a whole week and not lost a pound, and then the next week I've lost 4. And
right,
yeah,
that
the scale is scary every morning.
It's the ultimate mind effort, like
right.
Scale. But like
that's why I had to get measured. Like
yeah,
it was just fucking me up to see that same number all the time. But,
yeah, get
and
measured.
Matt, remember, I had to go to 2 times a week for a while because I was obsessing about that damn scale so much. I would only weigh in like twice a week because I'd flip out, and I'm like, I'm losing fat, gaining muscle, but that stupid scale, we just ingrained in our head that that's the measurement that matters, and it's so much more.
You just have to.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like so much goes into that number of the scale, and it can,
it's
you can
literally
just be
like
putting more water.
Yeah.
My coach was telling me, like, dude, you're gonna be traveling, your weight's gonna go up. Like, he already knows this shit. He's been doing it for years. Like, you're not gonna do anything different, but your weight's gonna go up simply because you're gonna travel. Like, you're gonna get in an airplane and go up to your state, and your weight's gonna go up. He's like, I promise you. And I don't really care. Like, he was just telling me, and I'm like, yeah, that's good for people to know that, because that is a big mind effing thing. And I think it's good for you guys to get that mind F every single day, because it's gonna show you what you're made of. You know what I'm saying? If you just try to and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna step on the scale because I'm not gonna like that. Get on the scale and don't like that number, like, and then see what you're made of. Like, you're either gonna do something about it, or you're gonna cower the other way. Like, every day is a battle, guys, in your mind. 80% of our thoughts are negative. Okay, this is why you need to fill your head with these books that I'm gonna start giving to you. But the more you can handle that in that mindset, the better off you're gonna be, because if you just keep pushing forward, it's like Erica said, you won't lose shit for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, boom, 4 pounds drops off. Like, that's how the body works, and that's why most people go backwards, because they don't have the support system to go like, dude, this is normal. Chill out. Don't grab that Snickers just because you're up a pound. Like, that's gonna make it worse. So it's good. Put yourself in, purposely, like, put yourself in a little bit of uncomfortable situation. Purposely put your kids in an uncomfortable situation. Your kids are pampered, dude. As a parent, your goal is to like not let your kid feel any pain, but why? Because that pain grows them. So like purposely find ways to make it difficult. Like my kid, I'm not Mr. Teen Dad or like the badass or nothing like that. My kids do push-ups, sit-ups every day before breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just because I'm like, you're gonna earn your meal. You know, it's not me being like, I'm still gonna feed my kid no matter what, even if they didn't do it. It's like, it's good to like, hey, let's put you through a little bit of like suck today, okay? Put you just through a little bit. Nothing crazy. I'm not gonna abuse you, but like, let's work on that mental, okay? Because without the mental, the body ain't following. So think about that next time you're trying to just, and it happens all over. Like me and Aisha, we look at other people's parenting and we're not trying to be judgmental, but we're like, dude, you're just letting this kid do whatever they want. They don't eat dinner and then you're just giving them snacks. And then we're wondering why all our kids are fucking obese. Because they don't do what you tell them to do and then you still reward them. Like they're getting rewarded for negative behavior. That's why they're fat. Maybe you do that to yourself. You reward yourself for negative behavior, even though that's not what you call it. You call it emotional eating. You call it whatever.
Oh.
I graduated college today. I'm going to go eat a fucking buffet. Okay. Why do you need to do that? Why don't you just go enjoy a little treat and stay locked in on what you want to do? So, anyways, I probably sound like the biggest asshole in the world right now, but
a little bit, man.
A little bit.
Still on point though.
A little bit, yeah. Man.
Right.
I can't tell if you guys like this or you're like, you're just letting it shut up.
Hey man, hey, it's truth. I don't get mad at truth, so.
Yeah. Just think about it. It doesn't mean that you're that person or you have to do anything with it, but like, just honestly think about it.
I just advise not using food as a reward or punishment.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst thing you can do for yourself or your kids. Like, and it's ingrained in us. So think about this. Like, one way that we used to teach our kids how to potty train is like, hey, if you go potty, you get this piece of candy, right? So like from an early age, one way that I told my wife, I'm like, why are we rewarding them with food? And then we switched to a sticker system, and they want the stickers more than they want the food anyway. Like at least my kids.
The right kind of sticker. Anyways.
What's that?
The right kind of sticker.
Yeah, right. The right kind of sticker. Like here's something. Who all has kids here? Raise your hand if you have kids. Has anybody heard of the marshmallow test before?
Nope.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so the marshmallow test is basically to see, they did this test on all these kids and then they followed them throughout the years, and the kids that like basically passed this test were way more successful than the other kids. And basically the way the marshmallow test is, you have a marshmallow, you give your kid and you say, you can have this one marshmallow right now, or in an hour from now, you can have 2 of these. And you just sit back and see which one they do. And if they pick the first one because they want that instant gratification, then that means they don't know how to delay gratification, and it means less success for them in their life. This is what the study proved, okay? The kids that waited the hour and had 2 got more for waiting. They became more successful in life. I forgot the name of the study. You can look it up. But it just goes to show you, like, especially now in today's era, the delayed gratification factor is not there. Like, we all want to be super successful right away. We all want to drop that 20 pounds yesterday. We all, people make fun of millennials for that. They get out of college and they want to make, $100,000 a year. It's that instant gratification. Like, hey, I did my work. Like, you didn't do the work. Like I was told, like, do a decade and then come talk to me. Like, do a decade of work. Do a decade of this macro counting and working on yourself. Do a decade, guys, and see where you're at in 10 years. Like, 10 years is going to go by either way. But like, if you're super shredded and just like on top of the world in 10 years because you stuck to it for 10 years, like that's what real change is. Anybody getting tired of me ranting yet?
Nope.
Knowledge, man, knowledge.
Knowledge bombs. Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys all being.
No, sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Matt.
you. Yeah. I really love this part of this is part
That's
of
right.
part of this business, guys. Because I gotta be so hands-on.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you for listening and being on. So Kathy, yeah, hit me up on Voxer and we'll talk about your stuff. If anybody else has any issues, like you guys should all have access to me whenever you want it. What's up, Lucas?
Hey, one thing. Did you have Taylor be a little bit more nice to me?
I've never heard that one before. That girl's too nice.
It's just crazy.
You toughen her up.
All right, I suppose.
All right. Cool, guys. I'm going to pop off. You guys all have a great rest of your week.
I'm meaner than you think.
That's it?
Thank you.
I'm meaner than you think.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Let's crush it. Let's crush the rest of the month. Dude, it's a sprint until the summer. Let's rock those summer bodies. I was just talking to Lucas earlier. I'm like, you know what? I was like, this is going to sound like a cocky thing to say, but I like taking my shirt off at the pool and having all these little 20-year-olds looking at me like, damn, look, I want to look like that 40-year-old dude. I was like, that's what we're going to get you on, Lucas. Tell me you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Bikini, no shirt. Lucas,
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
All right, guys. Hey, have a great night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.